Hello everyone, this is HESGask here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart the Swarm 1v1 action. This time it is going to be between EG Suppy down in the bottom right side, and up in the top left side, it is going to be FXO's Drunkenboi. We've actually seen a lot of games out of Drunkenboi lately, as he has been making a little bit of a name for himself. I recently cast another one of his games on my channel as well, doing quite well. I believe it was in the WCS America, and yeah. Doing quite well recently, man, so definitely keep an eye out for him. We'll see if he continues his, I wouldn't necessarily call it dominance, but I would call it a rise, at least right now, as he is starting to defeat a lot of players, although he's going to have one hell of a time against EG Suppy. Suppy has been training a lot. I believe that his group phase of WCS is coming up soon, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, there are so many tournaments going on right now, it is so difficult to keep track of every single player, but I will say that both these players are playing at what I would consider the best of their careers so far. That's just my opinion, and I'm gonna stick to it. I was able to meet Suppy at the most recent MLG. He is a great guy, very dedicated guy to the sport, so gotta hand it to him, man, as a lot of pro gamers are actually dropping out of playing Heart the Swarm professionally, which I think is a shame. Because not only is StarCraft like the coolest game ever, but also I feel like this is going to be a really, really good year for StarCraft 2. I think that with the Kespa players joining in, it's more entertaining, and then also with more foreign tournaments where non-Koreans have a chance to win, I think it's great for everyone. I mean, there's the Shoutcraft Invitational that Total Biscuit is doing, which is a big prize pool there, considering that it's North and South America only. For that ladder, and that's a tournament that no Koreans can participate in. They are literally vetting the players there. So there's these opportunities that are starting to present themselves for players who really want to try, who really want to attempt to make it. And I think that this year overall is going to be the best year for such tournaments. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll see you guys in 365 days to see if I'm correct or not. But anyways, the map is going to be Akilon Waste. We do see a classic wall in here from Drunkenboi, as walling in versus Zerg is usually a good idea as Terran. You can still get away with expanding down here relatively early, which might actually be what he's going to do here. Although he does have the gas already, so it might be a factory expand first. Which is pretty darn common. You got the Hellions easy and quickly enough to go ahead and defend your expansion as it comes up. You can also do some early map control with those Hellions, which is always good. We have the spawning pool going to be coming up right now for Suppy and his expansion going down as well. Yep, there's going to be the factory right there. Wouldn't be surprised to see a reactor drop down here. Oh, look at that on the barracks. No, I didn't preview this game. It's just I kind of know that getting reactor Hellions out is something that was so standard in Wings of Liberty. In Heart of the Swarm, it's becoming kind of standard as well. People tended earlier, like during the beta of Heart of the Swarm, go for things like Widow Mines just to try them out and all that. But for the most part, Hellions tend to be better, because the problem with Widow Mines is, say you do this build, you throw down some Widow Mines, so you're going to get 2 Widow Mines out before your opponent attacks. If they just send in 1 Ling at a time twice, then all of a sudden you have no defensive units there. So it can be tempting to go for that, but 2 Marines are not enough to secure an expansion. So it is going to be Hellions here, almost guaranteed. Oh god, please be Hellions so I don't look silly. All right, there they are right there, 1 and 2 Hellions. Remember that you can reactor out the Widow Mines. Again, you don't normally see them this early. It might kind of work versus Protoss and a little bit versus Terran, but when there are Zerglings out there, sacrificing a Zergling for 1 Widowmine shot is absolutely worth it for a Zerg. So that is what you'll see a lot of Zerg players start to do. And Widowmine's one of those units where, you know, you watch a game and it's like, oh my god, he killed 25 Zerglings with 1 shot. Oh, it's so overpowered. It was really good during the beta and the start of Heart of the Swarm, but what Zerg players are starting to actually do is really learn how to micro, and they have crazy game sense. And also, if we see a Widow Mine in this game, I'll kind of show you. On the desert tile set, it is very easy to tell where Widow Mines are. It is the easiest to see burrowed / cloaked unit in the game, in my opinion. It is so easy to see where those Widow Mines are at without detection. Now, you can't kill them without detection, unless you roll a Baneling over the top of it and manually detonate it. But either way, that is why Zerg players are realizing, all right, don't blindly run my units around. I got to keep an eye on where my units are at, and that's been a good way. Wait, do we have Widow Mines on the way? Yes, we do. Okay, so I'll show you when he burrows them and they're in range of the Zerg player, just how easy they actually are to see. We do have a lot of Overlords moving out for Suppy. This is a surprising amount of Overlords. Look at this. He's got 2 on the left side, 2 moving up the right side, and he has the Overlord inside the main base. It is going to be an Overlord party, man. This Overlord will get taken out, though, as he will be revealed. Oh, no, actually, maybe the drop's going to move out. So the Overlord is going to spot everything here. The Hellions are going to be moving out as well. One of them does get taken out. And 3 Hellions, not nearly as good. You want to try and keep those 4 alive for as long as you can, because you can actually deny expansions with 4 to 6. And then once you get up closer to like 10 or 12, then you can actually just start trying to steamroll your way to a victory with those. So we are going to be having the medevac move in. The Overlord has spotted it there, which is going to force the thrusters to be activated. We'll see if he decides to unload. Right now, that is not a place you want to unload into, man, because you will die immediately. The Lings just right-clicked onto that medevac. Now, we do have a Marine over here. Are we going to be seeing a Viking? That's the real question, unless I already missed a Viking. Yes, I did miss a Viking, so there is going to be a Viking moving out, but for now, the Widowmines are going to burrow. I don't think you can really see them on the creep as well. Apparently, they could be spotted there. Oh, yeah, you can't really see them on creep very well, but either way, there is going to be the drop inside the main base. Widowmine number 1 getting 5 kills with that shot. And I believe the other Widowmine did get taken out. This one is now going to die. These 2 Marines are like, yeah, we should probably head back. Does load those up and will indeed save those. The Queens right now, designated creepers over here, going to be starting up that creep spread. Now, keep in mind that this map is kind of a long map via the diagonal route to your opponent's base, so getting the creep spread all the way through the center of the map, it does take a lot of creep tumors, which is exactly where we're seeing Suppy start to go for that. I do like this Viking. Where'd he go? He is over here, so he has killed 1 Overlord, and this is something that I wanted to say before it actually happened, but it's a little bit too late now, is the fact that Suppy has so many Overlords out on the field is great for spotting drops, but it also sucks for keeping your Overlords alive, because the Viking here is just going to scout around, and look, he should be able to intercept this Overlord as well. So the fact that he's already killed 2 Overlords, it hasn't supply blocked Suppy, but what it's doing is forcing him to have to build more Overlords in a time when he needs to be building units to deal with drops. And speaking of drops, we do see Hellbats on the way right now, and they are inside the medevacs. We're going to be seeing a dual Hellbat drop right now. I think the Ling right there may have spotted it. You can see the medevacs here trying to find an angle they can go in at without being spotted, but so far Suppy doing a great job of spotting that. But Suppy is also supply blocked right now. Keep in mind that he has lost 3 Overlords so far just to this 1 Viking, so the good Overlord spread was great, but versus Terran, it can sometimes backfire, which is what we're seeing right now. But the drops are going to be moving out. The dual drop, he's not doing a multi-prong drop, at least yet. I think he's going to try and do, actually one thing you can do, which is pretty ridiculous, drop 2 Hellbats over here, drop 2 on the ramp, and then when the drones try and transfer, you can actually intercept them and kill them all off. Here's a couple of Banelings right now. I think he's just going to unload right here because Lings are basically worthless versus Hellbats. You got to remember that Hellbats can be healed by medevacs, and since that Sporecaller is out of range, these Hellbats going to be doing lots of damage. The Banelings do connect, but look at that angle. I mean, these Hellbats are just not going to die. 3 Hellbats still remain here, and they are going to be doing massive, massive damage. Hellbat drops are so good if you're unprepared for them as Zerg, and these Hellbats literally just running in there. The Queens do manage to take out one of those medevacs. The Sporecaller has since re-burrowed, but Hellbats, even though they move slow, they move methodical, man. They're going to be doing lots of damage. Here's another attack over here with Hellbats. 3 kills on that Hellbat here, as the action so far has been non-stop in this game, as the drops have been going from start to finish, and we will see if these drops are able to do enough damage. Basically, Zerglings just do not kill Hellbats. The Hellbats are essentially the hardest counter to Zerglings that have ever existed. And these Hellbats still not going to get taken out here. He does have the +1 attack, which has been helping out immensely. If he had the armor upgrade, can you imagine how sick that is versus Zerglings? If those Zerglings are doing 1 to 2 less damage based on how much armor upgrades you have, that is ridiculous. But right now, Drunkenboi is continuing to work on his mech upgrades. He still has some Marines mixed in. Not a whole lot of bio coming out, though, so it is starting to shape up to be a big mech play right now. SCV is going to be transferring over to that 3rd base here. Was there a burrowed Zergling there? There very well could have been, as the Vikings not going to be working on these destructible rocks. The Hellbat over here just spraying rocks with fire, which always kind of cracks me up. But here's going to be another drop over here, a continued Hellbat drop, and this unit's loss tab is just continuing to rise, trying to save those Hellbats. What is that medevac doing? The crazy micro there, I guess, to try and dodge those Sporecaller shots. But the Hellbat does remain. He's trying to heal it. He can't get a good angle, though. And they both do go down there. They were never going to let go, Jack, as they both do die Titanic style. But for now, I think the damage has definitely been done. Again, units lost here about double. for Suppy right now. His supply is still very low. He is actually extremely far behind right now. He has transitioned somehow into getting out a couple of Mutalisks. One thing that is nice about going against Mech is that until they start their Viking production, they're not going to have that much anti-air because they aren't making Marines, and a lot of times they aren't making that many Widow Mines. So the fact that there are missile turrets here, though, is going to be huge for Drunkenboi. That is going to lock down this Muta Harass. It's not even going to be Muta Harass, I feel like, with this much anti-air in position. 2 Vikings over here. Remember that Vikings are very slow, but they do have a huge range advantage on the Mutalisks. So if microed correctly, Vikings can prove to be quite frustrating, especially now that Thor is here. He does have the splash anti-air capabilities, which are extremely good versus Mutas, especially since the Muta count is so low. He's going to have to get up to about 15, 16, maybe even 20 Mutalisks to be able to engage this army directly, which I don't know if he has that time. And look at this. This is like straight out of a movie, man. We got the dropships moving out, the medevacs with Viking support. So they are going to be covering those medevacs right now because, again, if they get intercepted by the Mutalisks, you're going to lose these 2 medevacs. Or what you can do is have the Vikings sacrifice themselves, unload the Hellbats, and get the hell out of there. So the Vikings right there are like, all right, well, you made it to your location safely. He spotted the Mutalisk. This is actually really cool by Drunkenboi. Is he spotted the Mutas over on the left side, decided to send the Vikings back on home. Here come the Hellbats right now. Now, what they want to do is kill off the Queen if possible. Killing that Spore Caller would be quite nice as well, but you can see Hellbats just do not care. They're taking so little damage from the Mutas. They're going to be chasing over here to try and kill off a couple more drones. They do manage to get 3 drones, but 3 drones for 4 Hellbats, not really worth it. Medevac's going to be heading back home, but I got to say, Drunkenboi is attempting to keep Suppy back in his base, is attempting to do more and more economic damage, and even forcing that transfer away, I think ends up, in the long run, making it worth it for Drunkenboi, because he's already ahead in units lost, he's already ahead in supply, and he's tied in bases, which in TvZ actually means the Terran player is in the lead, as 3 bases versus 3 bases definitely favors Terran. Now, the medevacs over here will be intercepted, though. Suppy finally getting a big pickup here. That's 400 resources for the Hellbats, and add the medevacs to that is going to even this out in a way that he hasn't seen yet, and he's going to go straight for the Hellbats. May allow the medevac to survive, because not taking any more economic damage is the absolute priority right now. This Hellbat's like, oh god, this is so awkward. He might actually be able to delay a potential 4th base there. Does the Overlord actually spot this? No, he does get spotted right there by those Mutas. But it does look like the Vikings continuing to hunt here. We do have 2 kills and 1 kill. Looks like the Mutalisks now finally cleaned those up. So right now, Suppy is getting a little bit of momentum. I think Drunkenboi is starting to feel that and decides, you know what, I do not want him to have any more creep spread. So I'm going to go ahead and move out to clean this out. A big scan there to take out as many creep spreads as he possibly can. I think he got every one within that scan radius. Yes, he did. And is going to continue to move on out, which is exactly what he needs to do. Now, the thing about Mech is that it is very susceptible to certain unit compositions. One of those unit compositions is going to be Broodlord. So Suppy can buy enough time here with these Mutas, then he will be able to get out that Broodlord tech. He's a little bit over halfway to the Greater Spire. He's already got the Corruptors right now. So time is of the essence right now for Drunkenboi. Yes, he's killing creep tumors, but more importantly, he needs to start killing the base. He's pushed the creep all the way back, but he needs to start pressuring, because once the Broodlords come out, there's no anti-Broodlord on the field right now. So Drunkenboi, he's got a huge supply lead, but he may be taking his precious time right now instead of just moving into the main base for the kill here. There's the scan. He sees those Corruptors, so he's got to know that Broodlord tech is on the way. Has he spotted the Greater Spire? That is the real question. No, he has not. The Greater Spire now just popping. So 8 Broodlords are going to be on the way, and you can see that Suppy realizes that this is his last-ditch effort. Is going to be transferring those drones away, as the Hellbats over here are going to be cleaning up this 3rd base. Suppy attempting to hide a 4th base down in the bottom center, which is exactly what he needs to do, but Broodlords are almost here. And again, Broodlords are basically the counter to Mech. Oh my god, these Thors are totally stuck in those siege tanks. It is the counter to Mech if there are no Vikings. The thing you gotta remember is that Vikings are so much better if you go Mech, because they're already going to have the armor upgrade. Remember that the armor upgrade affects both Mech ground units and Vikings, which are technically, I guess, kind of a Mech air unit, considering they benefit from that. Here comes the reinforcements right now. I think he is making a big mistake, though, with the no anti-air, so he is going to lose this army. You can see as soon as he realizes the Broodlords are out already, he throws down 5 starports, so he knows what his army is missing, but it's also missing a lot of units because they all just died. So he needs to work on the anti-air. He is going to return on home. I think actually stopping here to kill a couple of creep tumors is wise, because one of the most difficult things to do as Zerg is to redo your creep tumors in the midst of a late game, well, any matchup really, because there's so much going on that you do not have time to sit back and do creep tumors as much as you used to. Ooh, I love these Widow Mines left back here. One Widow Mine over here gets a nice shot off on the Mutalisks. Oh, God, these Widow Mines are so close. They could kill Queens. They could kill Infestors. They could kill Mutalisks or Broodlords. Either one is a good situation with no Lings on the field. Excuse me, there's 2 Lings, but it is a bad time to be a Zergling, man, with so many Hellbats out and regular Hellions now. I'm sure he has Blue Flame as well at this point. Yes, he does. Doesn't have the servos, though, so he can't switch between those 2, so he will have to individually make them if he wants them. But either way, the Widow Mines over here, this is a very dangerous position to be leaving these Widow Mines for a Zerg player. Medevac's going to be moving out, and they will get intercepted. So Suppy, even though he's way behind in supply, he is managing, albeit barely, to stay in this game. And once the Viking production starts, though, it is going to be the danger zone. Now, remember that Thors do have something called high impact payload. Notice how these Thors now have giant guns on their back. They can switch between the 2 modes. Big scans there to try and take out more and more creep tumors here. I think he's really up on, he's on cleanup duty. And you may be wondering, well, why is he so focused on cleaning up these creep tumors? Well, you got to remember that if he transitions into doing lots of Hellion counterattacks, that having the creep receding all the way back to the Zerg player's base means that the Hellions are going to survive longer. They can get away longer and just have a better chance to do more economic damage. So I think it's very wise to start killing off the creep tumors. And Suppy on the reverse side realizes that, is going to attempt to continue that creep spread once again. Hellions running in here. Remember that Spinecrawlers aren't really that great versus Hellions if there's enough Hellions just to kill off all your drones. Anyways, the Spinecrawlers doing their best, though, and they will clean it up. Still, some losses have been done, and you got to remember that even though Drunkenboi has ended up losing more, he has had much longer to mine. Taking a look at the income tab, he is way ahead. He's got 71 workers to a mere 53 for Suppy. So Suppy is actually going to be playing a Protoss style here, where he doesn't have as many workers as the opponents, where normally, you know, Zerg would have more workers, but he is going to try and rely on very costly units and attempt to be very cost effective with them, because he's got the Queens out, he's got the Infestors to keep the army at bay with fungal growths, and he's got the big spendy Broodlord. So if he can keep this army alive for a couple more battles, he will be back in this game. However, he still does have to watch out for the counterattacks. He has to watch out for the Hellbats and the Hellbat drops. He has to watch out for the Widow Mines. There are a lot of things that can continue to do economic damage here, which is exactly what we're going to be seeing Drunkenboi attempt to do here. By moving out with these Hellions, he's going to see, all right, is there a base up here? Is there still drones at this location? Keep in mind that this location is completely undefended. Well, the Mutas will intercept that. The Widow Mine, though, does kill off yet another Muta, which almost makes it worth it. They're not quite yet, though, as Drunkenboi is getting a little bit sloppy with these units, as he is attempting to deal as much damage as he possibly can. The Vikings over here, he's trying to split them up as best he possibly can, but he does take one fungal growth. I attempted to split him there as well, but it wasn't enough. The fungals on the Vikings got to be huge. Can Suppy actually even out the supplies? So far, the answer is yes, but there's so many Thors, and with the high impact payload, they'll do lots of damage to the Broodlords. However, the Thors tend to focus on the Broodlings, and all of a sudden, Drunkenboi in a lot of trouble here. He's got to back up these units as quickly as he possibly can. He is trying to take out the Mutas here. I think he's individually focusing those down with the high impact payload. Keep in mind that that ability makes them do more damage to air units, but it takes away their splash damage. That's why he's actually able to micro versus these Corruptors here while he's on full retreat, and some of these Thors do get left for dead. I think only 2 Thors are going to survive, so that was a huge victory for Suppy. Keep in mind that Suppy was so far behind. However, Widow Mines over here did kill off a couple of drones. They are going to activate on the Mutas as well, and if he can deal with those Mutas, then it makes dealing with the Broodlords much easier, because you can continue that Viking production. Vikings do additional damage versus armored units. That's something that's very important to keep in mind. However, we do have the Raven tech switch now with the durable materials upgrade, the Corvid reactor as well. Oh my god, have these Thors been stuck here this entire time? I think they have. I think that's 4 Thors stuck in this army. Oh no, that sucks for Drunkenboi. Not realizing that he didn't leave an area for those units to get out of there means that his army is going to be much, much weaker here. So I gotta say, that is a big shock. It's got to be a shock here once he realized what's going on. It's even starting to trap the Hellions now. There he goes. He finally lifts those off, realizing he's got to get those units out of there. He should just kill this add-on as well, so that he can continue to produce out of that factory. Right now, though, the creep spread is continuing for Suppy, as it has denied this base over here. So Suppy, he is officially back in this game. He was extremely far behind at one point, and the Hellion at counterattacks didn't do enough damage to continue keeping our Zerg player behind, and the Widow Mines here, I think, eventually got cleaned up. Not sure if they got big detonations there, but I gotta say, I mean, how do you beat Mutalisk, Infestor, Corruptor, Queen, Broodlord? That is a lot of units that our Zerg player has, mixing up the unit composition, not just massing out one type of unit. Instead, he is going to be going for lots. And remember that Corruptors have 200 HP, and now they're up to 4 armor, making them vastly superior to the Vikings that we're currently seeing right now. The Hellions right here are going to try and go for another harassment, which I think is ideal. There's going to be a Widow Mine running down here as well. The Overseer is going to be spotting it as there are Spine Crawlers on the way. Big detonation there, taking out a couple of drones. The Hellions, though, able to take that out. Suppy apparently saying 52. I assume that maybe it lagged for a second when he was doing his hotkeys. But either way, Hellions here able to scare this, and I think the Widow Mine will get taken out before it activates again. It's going to be kind of close here, as he did leave the Overseer right there, and the Spine Crawlers are on the way. It's going to be pretty close. This Widow Mine does have 7 kills. I don't think he's going to get more kills here. It's actually ridiculously close, but at the same time, there's going to be a big battle over here. And the Widow Mine did not activate there again. I believe the spore, or excuse me, the fungal growth on those Hellions going to be taking out a lot of them. This has literally been one of the most non-stop games everywhere. Kind of hard to keep up with the action every which way. And the fact of the matter is that Suppy is back in this. Now, going against mech still is not easy. If he gets a couple of shots off on those units, if he gets a couple of secret missiles, he can turn right back around. But the fungals on the Ravens here, he's got to keep these Ravens alive if possible. Where are the secret missiles? He needs to start throwing them out. He does unleash the secret missiles here. This is going to be doing massive damage to the Sword Flare. Keep in mind, the secret missiles do not do as much damage as they used to, but they are much easier to use as they cost lower energy here. Can Drunkenboi actually win this battle? He is ahead in supply, but with a Viking anti-air disadvantage, it is becoming increasingly tough to kill off these units. He is killing out the Broodlords, though. Keep in mind, there's only 2 Broodlords here dealing damage. It does look like the Infested Terrans are going to be cleaning up the rest, but here comes another massive counterattack with these Hellions. He's going to be running in 3 attacks, 1 armor. He definitely needs to get more armor upgrades on these Hellions, but he is focusing down the drones at an alarming rate. Suppy, though, is moving out into the center of the map. He's going to be able to take out several of these command centers if he wants to. The Hellions able to take out the majority of the drones here. They just are not dying with that 1 armor upgrade. He does need to get more armor, though. Here come the Ravens. He's got to be so careful. Point defense drone. No. Decides to throw out the secret missile. Can he do lots of damage? Yes, he does. Secret missiles everywhere, just cleaning house. Not sure if that's going to be enough just yet, but units lost overall is going to start favoring Suppy here in a big, big way. More Hellions going to be moving out, because really, what can the Hellions do at this point? They can try and go for the Infestors, but I think the counterattacks are the better way to do it. He just needs to find a way to deal with these few remaining units. We'll see if he can do it. The Ravens are still out. Another secret missile coming out. Vikings here trying to micro as best he possibly can. Big detonation there, but also a good split from Suppy. Both these players just non-stop punches to the face, attempting to land his command center over there, but it looks like the command center itself is pooping as the Overlord refuses to be dealt with just yet. But it does look like the Vikings here might finally get the upper hand, as I think Suppy will eventually have to retreat here. But the fact of the matter is that he's managed to kill off almost every single Raven, and you know what they say, that's so Raven. Heyo! Got to keep those Ravens alive, because they are going to be the only thing that he has to deal with this air army. I think he just needs to continue getting Vikings here. Pure Viking army may be enough. They do have +2 attack, but the armor upgrade, I think, is really what's hurting Drunkenboi right now, is that he's just going up against a 3 armor air army for Zerg, as Suppy, I think getting the armor upgrades was extremely intelligent, because it makes it so the Thor's splash damage is not nearly as good. And just look at these Corruptors, they simply do not die. They're up to 5 armor, which is reducing that damage from the Vikings in a huge, huge way. Remember, it does 2 attacks, so it's taking 5 damage off each time, reducing that by a lot. It does look like another counterattack over here, attempting to get himself back into this game, but both players are surprisingly low on supply right now. 32 minutes into a game, you would expect maxed out armies, but they did basically slap each other in the face non-stop, so we're going to see exactly how things kind of settle out here. 59 SCVs to only 60 drones. Suppy would love to have more drones than that, but he simply cannot take the time to do it just yet. Apparently an Overseer here made a bunch of changelings, which are just kind of hanging out there. Very interesting choice, but anyways, the Corruptor count is super, super high, and you got to remember, as Zerg, if you can get out pure Corruptor Broodlord, that's actually a great unit composition versus mech, because, oh god, okay, I thought he was going to kill them off, but the mules right there are super, super susceptible, and the fungals right here would be huge. Decided to go for the Infested Terror. Take a look at the income, 3,600, and that's going to get taken out in no time flat. Look how quickly that's plummeting here as these mules are going to start getting taken out. Actually peaked at 4,000 before ending up losing those. There is going to be a Hellbat counterattack. I think finally realizing, all right, Hellbats are the way to go. Did he eventually get the transformation servos? Yes, he did. So what that means is he can run the Hellions into the bases and transform them, which is exactly what he's doing here at both bases here, so he's got to be killing off a lot of drones. It's exactly what he needs to get himself back in this game. Workers killed 115. That number continues to rise, one of the highest numbers I've ever seen in workers killed. I think 120 is where it's going to settle for now. And indeed it does. Oh my god, he might actually kill off the Spine Crawler with just Hellions. It's going to be close. No, I think the Spine Crawler's got it. But either way, SCV's long distance mining everywhere. Oh my god, did he kill it? Oh, he killed it by transferring it into the Hellbat there at the last second. Hellbats are so sick good, man. Broodlord's going to continue to move back and forth to attempt to deal with this. Suppy overall losing 121 workers. Overall 161 workers have been killed. Suppy unable to do the economic damage though that he would like to. This is going to be a planetary fortress. More mules being dropped. How many orbitals does he actually have right now? Take a look at the structure tab. He has 7 orbitals, which is ridiculous. Yes, some games I've seen more, but considering the pace of this game, this is indeed ridiculous. And this is just adding to his big Hellion counterattacks. He drops a tons of mules, makes a bunch of Hellions. The Hellion's not so lucky this time. The Fungal's going to be grabbing those ones as they attempt to do a counterattack, as Suppy realizing that defense is the key to victory right now. And it looks like the Changeling's going to be moving out every which way. I gotta say, Changelings with the custom Marine skin actually look amazing. That is so cool. With their fancy guns that have little blades on them. You know what would be cool is the Marines. If units were within melee range, if they actually stabbed them with the gun as opposed to shooting, that would be so cool. And you may be saying, Husky, that's dumb, but keep in mind, Roaches and Hydras have a melee attack animation. So that would be kind of cool, man. Just a nice little touch that I think would add to the game. But regardless, we have the Hellions going to be moving out here. They are attempting to kill creep tumors. I think he scanned and realized, all right, there is way too many creep tumors. Instead, I need to try and do damage over here. And there's no spines in position just yet, as he is going to be able to run over there to attempt to do more economic damage. At the same time, though, the Broodlords are in position. They're going to be sieging this location. The Mules have already timed out, though, so I feel like that expansion has already paid for itself. The Hellbats have arrived. The Fungal's buying just enough time for the Spines to end up finishing, but I don't think this is a very good trade right now for Drunkenboi, as he is starting to hurt and hurt a lot. The Viking count is huge here. 2 attack, 1 armor. The Hellions, though, continuing to harass. My god, are they going to give me a chance to breathe? I think the answer is no. This is one of the situations where it's like, all right, a co-caster would be great, because the play-by-play in this game is literally non-stop. The Hellions over here, though, attempting to continue to harass here. And at this point, I mean, it's just been non-stop Hellion harass. It's been non-stop multiple prong attack. It's been non-stop Fungals. It's been non-stop. So a very good game here by these players. It's one of those things where at some point I just got to sit back and be like, oh my god, these players are so equally matched in skill, so equally matched in the multitasking, that this could be anyone's game. One mistake is going to end up costing them. Now, right now, I'm trying to see who I can give a slight advantage to. Both players have about the same income. Harvesters down to 19 to 39. Workers killed 131 to 52. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 183 workers. I'm probably doing my math wrong. Oh, that Fungal, though, could be huge. In fact, it is. You can't see the battle taking place because the Corruptors are in the way. But that Fungal is ridiculous. He needed to keep those units alive for sure. However, that did open up the possibility for another counterattack over here, just adding to the drones killed. Does he realize that they burrowed, though? I don't know if he did, because sometimes if you burrow and your opponent's not looking, they won't realize that, hey, I did not kill off all those workers. I'm wondering if he's going to throw down a scan. Nope, he didn't realize that the burrow took place. Those drones immediately unburrow to start building spines, and it does look like these Hellions got to just run down here. The spines are on the wrong side, though. He's got to line them up here to try and do more damage. So he transforms them into the Hellbats, which is so funny that, oh, the drones, you got to be careful, as he is going to be clumping those up. They do somehow survive that, just blanketing them, though, in fire. There is going to be another attack over here. Drunkenboi going to be losing his base. My god. This is brutal. Over 200 workers killed. Or is that 199? Either way, it is super close. The Viking Raven Death Cloud, though, is ready. It is pissed, and it is going to be moving out. The Hellbats here, their job is going to be to kill off those broodlings as best they possibly can, while the Vikings and the Ravens take to the skies. One Viking over here going to be working on this hatchery. Not sure if he's ever going to be able to kill it or not, but, you know, Vikings do a surprising amount of damage when there's only one. He's going to slowly be working that building down, though. Oh, excuse me, but we'll just have to wait and see. And it does look like the Zerglings right there will kill it off unless it rises to the air. He did attempt it, but did not have nearly enough time. The Hellions got to be moving on in, and then once again, the army is out of position. Only a couple of drones mining here, but that is all that Drunkenboi needs to keep himself in this game, and he is going to kill off several drones right now. And keep in mind that he has to individually focus these down with the Hellions because the Hellions will want to attack those spines. And I think he got every single drone at that expansion. Oh my god. Workers killed 153 to 56. We are officially now at over 200 workers killed. And on the map, there's only 15 SCVs, only 27 drones. Very, very low worker count here for both of these players right now. And again, I don't think I've ever seen a game this close for this long. And you know, the supplies are about the same. The upgrades, no one's really been able to get more upgrades because they cannot afford them. Because if your army is just a little bit smaller, you're going to lose. 146 army supply to 120. Both these players have a huge army because they have no workers. Looks like the Hellbats are going to be able to kill off a couple of queens here. And another counterattack. My god, call Drunkenboi the counterattack king because he is just doing it non-stop this game with those Blue Flame Hellions. And I think I heard a couple of secret missiles attempt to go off right now. I want to say I feel like Suppy has a slight advantage here. Yes, he does have a supply advantage overall, but the army supply is is exactly the same, actually 122 to 122. But I feel like the units that Suppy has are slightly better in this situation, although we do have +3 air attack on the way, which could make a huge difference here because keep in mind that the battles have been so even, and yet the upgrades could make it the biggest difference here moving forward. So we'll see if Drunkenboi's choice of the attack air upgrade is going to be worth it. The Hellbats, this is a big army moving in here. He's actually just trying to kill off this expansion directly, taking out one of the geysers there. Probably not going to be rebuilt anytime soon. He's trying to take out the spines. I don't think he's going to get all of them, though. Now that the Broodlords are here, able to clean those up. And remember that the Broodlords, the Broodlings themselves won't be doing the damage. It is the Broodling shots that'll do the damage versus Hellbats. One Hellion manages to survive. Is he going to be a hero, though? Oh, nope. Gets taken out right there. So that was an anticlimactic story if I've ever seen one. But regardless, 114 supply right now for Drunkenboi. Army supply, what's it shaping up to look like? 104 to 132. And we'll just have to wait and see exactly if Suppy can get a good angle here or not. The mules have mined out that location. It's not often that mules don't survive long enough to mine something out, but they did in that situation because there's no mineral patch there. You can see where the mineral patches used to be. I wonder if that was intentional or not. Do you think they meant to, yeah, they must have intended to do that. But regardless, we do see the attack over here with the Hellions attempting to deny mining there, but really there's only one drone mining, and that is it. Another secret missile coming out. Oh, what was that? What just happened? What was that? What was that? We're going to have to go back to 4430. Did he bait that into that army? Oh my god, I think he did. That might have been Zerglings there. Not sure exactly what happened, but that was a friendly fire seeker missile for sure. Sometimes I never appreciate how pretty the shadows are in this game. So we're going to take a moment and go over here and look at the action that's taking place as the Hellions are actually going to get cleaned up right there. This is not looking good for Drunkenboi. He's put up one hell of a good fight. He was actually in a situation to win it. I think right now what he's doing is going to be relying on Widowmine shots, which is honestly not that bad of a choice at this point. If he can get a couple of good Widowmine detonations, take out the Overseers, then there's no way for the Widowmines to be detected here. So we'll just have to wait and see. As Broodlords, man, they are still trying to pick away. But Suppy, he really cannot deal with this army. Oh, does intercept one of the few remaining units in this game. He also remembers, hey, there is not any defense back here. As we do see, this Minecraft is going to get taken out right away. Remember, Hellbats do more damage to buildings when they are in Hellbat form. That's why they're actually able to kill those off. And Hellbats, once again, going to get taken out here. Don't think they're going to survive whatsoever. Unfortunately, killing the Broodlings doesn't really do anything for you. However, it did allow Drunkenboi to actually secure an expansion here. He's basically relying purely on mules, but at the same time, Suppy has a ridiculous army right now, and my god, the Hellion harass has continued. Oh god, I hit the wrong key again. I hit the wrong key again. This happens so many times. Hang on, we got to go back over here to right there. I think that's where we were, pretty darn close. But either way, the army is going to be moving out right now. A huge attack with Hellions got to be taking place, and he's actually going to kill off a hatchery here. There's only gas remaining here, only 600 gas, so killing that off doesn't really matter. There's just so many Hellions, though, that he might actually force a base race with Hellions. Not something I think I've ever seen, but it is going to be taking place in this game. So it does look like the Corruptor is going to be moving out to try and do something. I don't really know what the Corruptors can do at this point except for wait to be turned into Broodlords. The Hellions here do eventually get cleaned up, but this army once again is going to have to retreat right now. And boop, goes that. Oh, God, I don't really know if Drunkenboi can do this. Yes, he is ahead in supply. Yes, his army supply is great. Yes, overall, he has killed, let's see, how many has he actually killed off? 181 workers. He has almost killed off 200 workers just by himself with these Hellions. But, I mean, he doesn't have a good follow-up. I mean, he doesn't have enough units to deal with those Corruptor counts, and he really needs is a couple of Thor shots. He needs some really good Seeker missiles here. But I don't know if it's actually going to be happening right now. For the sake of my voice, I'm going to just speed ahead a little bit as both these players are jockeying for position here. We are going to be seeing a big epic battle at some point, but it is going to be this this death cloud over here, which is just 1 or 2 fungals away from being eliminated. Here's a big attack with the Hellions. Going to continue to harass, but at the same time, oh my God, there's so many changelings. They died so dramatically, but it does look like we're just waiting. We're going to be waiting for these two armies to clash. I think Drunkenboi realized he is at a disadvantage. Oh, he's going to be doing whatever that was. I don't know what. Oh, I think he's trying to kill off the burrowed infestor there or something. I have no idea. But either way, he is going to get. Oh, the neural parasite and the Seeker missile. The Seeker missile. Oh, no, wait. No, there it goes. He tried to get it out there. He's going to attempt to do just that. And does manage to. Seeker missiles playing a ridiculous role in this game. Some of them friendly fire, some of them not, but either way, they're always exciting, and it does look like we're just going to wait for the final battle. We are 52 minutes into this game right now, and at this point, it may never end, as the map is starting to get mined out here quite a bit. Overall, though, for a 52-minute game, the map is surprisingly not mined out, as there are still, actually, is it just one base? I guess 2 bases still remain, sort of 3 right now, but here we go. I mean, can Drunkenboi actually do this? He's got to watch out for the fungals. He wants to kill the Overseer so he can use Widow Mines, but that is not the most important thing right now. Here we go. If there's a time to ever hide UI, it is right now. Huge split on these Vikings. A ridiculous concave, though, but the Queens are actually working quite well versus the Hellions, and there's going to be the GG, realizing I cannot end up winning this game at all. But what an absolutely ridiculous game here, and I will say I may have stumbled on my commentary a little bit because the game was so ridiculous, it took my breath away. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Suppy for sending me this game. Absolutely ridiculous game. I do want to go back. God, where was that? I can't remember. I think it was like at 40. Was it at 47? No, it was before that. I'm trying to remember what happened. I didn't quite catch a glimpse of what happened with that friendly fire Seeker missile. I know it took place right here, but when was it is the real question. So we're going to sit back. We are going to talk about our favorite TV shows, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. You guys watch those? They're pretty good. What other good shows are there? Law and Order SVU is always pretty good, but then they got rid of Stabler, so I don't watch it anymore. But anyways, it looks like, oh, okay, was it right here? Might have been. All right, so there's that. And is this where it took place? I don't think I missed it. I really don't think I did. I'm pretty sure it took place right here, didn't it? I was so confused with what actually happened. All right, was it right here? Okay, oh, it was a neural parasite. He Seeker missiled there and attempted to do that. Okay, so that was a neural parasite, and I think another one did more damage than that. Nothing like turning Seeker missiles against your opponent. So there's a continued attack of that. Oh, neural parasite right there, as he is attempting to do it. The infestor there unable to land another one. Oh God, he could fungal that so hard. And that must have been what it was today. Neural parasites. The infestor over here. What's he gonna do? Oh, neural parasite once again. Seeker missile coming out, and he's trying to split him up there. Unfortunately, he really had nowhere to run. And was that all of them? Oh, there's another. Okay, this is the one. Look at that Seeker missile. It's so ridiculous. Ah, so much damage. And more Seeker missiles coming out on this army. He's trying to split him up. There we go. The ridiculous neural parasite into the Seeker missile. An awesome play. Great game here by Suppy. I think Suppy were just a round of applause for Suppy. That was quite the game there. So anyways, GG. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.